Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another episode, folks. I'm back again here on Ark Survival Ascended, and I've got something to show you. Something has happened, so obviously between this episode and last episode, I have been doing some stuff off camera, but I did actually manage to... what do I keep... There we go. Finally mounted the right way around. Now, as I was saying, I have something to show you folks. If you can see, well, you might have just spotted it there, but I've managed to find myself 2 Rhinotherias, which makes very little sense. I haven't messed around with the dino settings in terms of how many to have, because I think that was the thing at one point. So I haven't really messed around with that, but I have a high level Rhinonathia in the trap, and I also managed to find a level 85, I believe, which is kind of good, because that means I will focus off camera on building the, or maybe I might make it into an episode, I don't know, on building the I suppose incubation, the breeding chamber, the impregnation chamber. That's it. That's what I'm going to call it, the impregnation chamber. And I'm going to be experimenting with the low-level Rhinonathia. So let me kind of show you what's going on there. You can see that right there. So we've got one right there. That is 85. Nice colors on it. And I managed to find the old one. There we go. So that is actually quite good. So that was the previous Rhinonathia that... I impregnated this. I got this one that I'm off of, just flying about, so I managed to kite it into the trap. But then I also found an 85, which I put there. So with the 85, my plan is, once I expand and build this, I am going to experiment with it. Now, there's a chance that it might not survive my experiment, but that's why we have it here. I don't think I'm going to keep anything off of it. I just want to make sure that... I'm able to build a impregnation chamber that allows these things to impregnate your wild dinos. Now, I've done it with Rexes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to explore with other creatures, and I think Brontos are going to be my next thing. I know health is important, but it's also a percentage that it slowly starts to tick down once you've been impregnated, or your dino, better said. But yeah, this is going to give me a nice chance to play around with this creature and kind of explore what and how it works. And hopefully I should be able to make a decent guide. I do want to find a way to use the same Rhinonathia to re-impregnate multiple dinos, and that is kind of what I'm working on. I've got a couple of ideas in the back of my head, but of course that will require some testing. Now, obviously, I don't want these things to get out, so before I do any sort of testing, it'll be a case of expanding this. And now, this trap itself is already pretty expensive, so I'm guessing, my plan at least, is to go with a expansion to this, maybe towards the swamp, and we're going to go with 2 behemoth dinosaur gateways, height-wise. So, we'll keep about the same, I suppose, length, width. No, this will be the width, and the length is the long bit. Yeah, so we'll keep about the same length with the cage, but we'll probably go with 2 behemoth dinosaur gateways. And so that is what I'm planning. What's going on here? Okay, Capros. Yeah. Not a fan of those things. I mean, I like them, but I don't like them when they try and get you. So yeah, that's what I'm going for. I'm actually kind of happy that I found the one that escaped in the previous episode. That just means I can reuse it and get some more high-level Rhinonathias, hopefully. Obviously, I think, as far as I understand it at least, whilst I've got these here, that would prevent any other Rhinonathias from spawning, as well as it would also prevent Gigas and Carcharodontosaurus from spawning in. I think they share spawns, you see. Which is fine. I've got my Giga. I'm happy with that. It'd be nice if I could breed it with something else, but I think these are more useful than the Gigas. So, with that note, yeah, I'm keen on getting an army of these. Not that I'm ever going to use them against anything specific, but I want to see what colors I can get on them. That's the other thing. I want to see what stats and how breeding works with these things. Just having a look around here. Normally we tend to get, I think there's a beaver in the water. We tend to get beaver dams. So it's a good place to be, in my opinion, because, well, I have a good constant supply of cementing paste here. Cool. I do like the sound of the wing flap on these creatures. It almost sounds like a helicopter. It feels and sounds like this is the equivalent of a helicopter in Ark Survival Evolved. The way it moves, it can go from side to side, up, down, back, forward. The maneuverability on this is amazing. I love it. It's definitely on par with the Shadow Mains, and if you've watched any of my older episodes, you'll know that I do love the Shadow Mains. Shadow Mains are my all-time favorite creatures. They top Rexes in my books. They're very versatile. They're good on land. They can traverse any type of land. They can go in the water, and they're actually good in the water, so they can act as a water creature, which kind of excludes the need for taming water creatures. Saying that though, the Rhino Nathia is really cool as well. I like the fact that you can actually go swimming with it, although it does have an oxygen bar, but it is a fast swimmer. And what's nice is you don't get dismounted when you make contact with water, which is good, but then you can also get to the surface of the water from diving and then fly off, which is really cool. So again, a very well-rounded creature, very, very diverse in terms of what it can do. But and I've got two of them here, so that is pretty cool. I'm happy with it. I don't know how, why. I'm not even going to ask. No, I'm thankful for what I have. Now, I'm also thankful that I'm the only one on the server, which means I'm not really preventing other players from being able to tame these. So that's kind of cool. I like that. Alright, so with that said, I think today I'm going to have a bit of a slower episode. We're going to do some breeding. I'm pretty much set up for it. It's been a few in-life real days. So I've got a couple of eggs, which I do want to hatch and hopefully get some decent level dinos. Of course, we're going to be looking at mutations for Rexes. That is the main focus, really. Alright, we are in the base. And we've got me some eggs right here. Let's pop these bad boys out. So this is what I've got. I've got a couple of days on them. I've got a few more in the fridge as well. I think this should be far enough from the aircons. What? What happened to the egg? Did you pick it up? I think you did. Okay, right, well, in that case, we're going to have to do something about that for now. Both fertilized. There we go. Don't pick anything up. How's that sound? I think in that case, we're going to have to adjust this and disable mating. We'll do the same thing for the Rexes. That way we don't lose any eggs. And yeah, then we'll sort of be base bound, so to speak. And now I want to basically on the Rexes, and I think I'll do that same thing on the Argents. What I'm looking for is I want to find two dinos with the same levels that share the same stats, where basically the best stats from the parent dinos have been ported over, or taken over by the baby. Once I've got that, the parents are kind of useless to me, and that will be my base breeding pair. And from there on, I'm going to be looking at breeding for mutations, and I think we'll just work with a few numbers, like a few numbers. Jesus Christ! Yeah, I'm just going to work with small numbers with regards to hatching. I could probably chuck out all of the Rex eggs and do it that way. I'm going to put them in the fridge just so they don't weigh me down. And that's what I've got for now. I will end up having more eventually as time goes on. So yeah, the Oviraptors are doing the job. I'm well pleased with it. I've got loads of eggs. It's going to make life easy for me to get kibble. Yeah, and the only thing left to do is set up a greenhouse now to have a constant supply of veggies. Okay, let's check on the eggs. As you can see, I have been busy. I have built out the cage. I'll show that off in a future episode. So I have been base bound. I'm not going to do a full building video, but the thing that I noticed is I keep running out of water down here, so I need to expand my water reach, I suppose. I need to find a good place for this water tank right now. I don't want it to be in the way, so I think maybe here that'll do. Okay, that is within range. And we'll come down here. There we go, perfect. So now I've got water down here, because I kept going thirsty and then having to run upstairs to get water to come back downstairs, which I thought was a bit annoying. I think I'll place another water tank somewhere, maybe here. Yeah, it's out of the way. That'll do. Cool. It's in range. So that expands my water reach. I'm still waiting on eggs to hatch. So whilst I've been waiting on them, as you can see right here, they do go down quite slow. I've just been basically slowly building out the impregnation chamber next to the Rhinonathia trap. And I guess now I've kind of run out of things to do, so I'm just gonna wait here for these eggs. It'll be a while, and I guess it's gonna be AFK time, just keep an eye on the eggs, and hopefully we get some decent levels on these Rexes. This is the hardest part when starting out with the breeding, and what makes it hard is simply because we have two dinos with similar or the same levels but different stats, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to combine all the highest stats from both of the dinos onto a single dino. Now I need to do that twice, and I want to get the two dinos to be of opposite genders, which I can then start to breed for mutations. Any mutations before that are useless to me, so yeah, this is what takes the longest, I believe. Right, we've got some babies popping out. Thought I was recording there for a second. So we got our level 239. I feel like I should be in the region of 140 with all the stats combined. I could have, but I didn't. I could have looked for more Rexes to try and find the highest possible stats. But I do know that once we get to Shadow Mains, that is what I'm going to be focusing on. As it currently stands right now, I'm happy with these. They should be fine. The only thing I do worry about, of course, is the dragon. And then, of course, there's also the Ascension Cave, which, yeah, it's going to be hard. So I'm trying to pick out the highest levels of this bunch, and the problem with that is I keep snagging onto their tails. Can I kill you like that? Nope. Doesn't do anything, I think. I'm not seeing any changes in your health. This is the problem. There's a lot of dinos that I'm going to come across that I can't do much with, and I don't want to keep. So 244, that is a good level, I guess. I don't see anything higher than that. So we'll pull this one out. And we'll keep it here. Eventually. 244. So basically got 20 levels above what I gained from taming the Rexes. It's not that bad. There we go. This was my problem. This is why I wanted to expand the water. I keep running out of water. I keep going thirsty. And I always have to run up to the top. Okay, let's see what levels. I don't see anything eye-catching at this moment in time. Okay, pick these up just so I can see what I'm doing. 232. Okay. 228. Well, this one's not useful to me. 235. I guess this one can go as well. So yeah, I'm gonna take this slow because I don't want to waste any time in the sense of basically getting what I want and then accidentally killing it and then waiting for another one to happen. Basically, I probably didn't explain that very well. I'm basically not going to rush this process, because if I get the level that I want and need, then I want to be on the ball and claim it, so I don't have to do the same thing or wait for the same level twice, if that makes sense. Okay, now obviously because the eggs were kind of close to each other, they did sort of come out the eggs on top of each other, which means that their hitboxes are snagged onto another, so getting them moving might potentially be a bit of a challenge here, which is a good thing that I've got a giant base. Okay, so you see what I mean? These guys aren't moving anywhere because they're stuck onto that Rex over there, this one right here. So let's get this one moving. Well, I thought I was going to go flying for a second there. Now obviously I'm going to have to find a way to get rid of these humanely, I guess. Because I'm not going to keep them, you see. I'm going to end up with hundreds of Rexes that I don't want. Just having a look. Sometimes you can get like low level mutations, which, you know, a mutation is meant to be a rare occurrence, but yeah, I mean, I suppose some part of me does feel a bit frustrated that we got a mutation when I didn't need it. Although, to be fairly honest, it has a variety of stats that the mutation can go into. So for the Rexes, I'm only doing 20 health and 20 damage as far as mutations go. But I should check as well on these to make sure that they don't have any mutations. So yeah, there's a chance of getting a combination of the parent stats with a mutation to the level that I need, which I guess is 244. There we go, nearly there with the second batch. Let's see what I'm going to get from this. It's dropping down nice and steady. I remember trying to do this on official servers when I first started out in Ark. Man, was it tedious. I think I saw a mutation, potentially. I mean, just out, yeah. So normally, let's see. I mean, I'm not even going to look through the stats. I'm trying to get, there's a 240 right there, which I kind of want to pop out of here. Although, the highest level that I've got so far is a 244. And so really, I'm going to be aiming for all the babies to have that level. Move them this way. Pull them out this way over here. Right, that's two of them. Just double checking their levels. Okay, what's going on with that dude? Oh, dude. Alright, I thought he was going to go flying up. 216, that's a bad level. 220. Nope, not good. Alright, let's move these. See if we can move them. And that's the problem when you have multiple eggs hatching at the same time, which is where the incubators came in handy, because we didn't have that problem. We could destroy the eggs or keep them, and we could see what stats they had as well, and colors and color regions that were used. They're definitely cool things, so I can't wait for them to be added back into the game. And I know there's mods out there that do already do that, but I don't want to add those. Currently speaking, I'm actually enjoying doing stuff the old school way. Okay. I mean, it's a bit more work, and it is a bit more difficult, but it's still fun. I enjoy it. It's a bit of a throwback to the good old days. onto the Argent X, and I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. I'm going to be looking at basically getting both stats transferred onto the baby. I don't know what it's going to look like level wise. I've not actually sat down and done the maths on paper, although it is easy to calculate. It wouldn't be something too difficult to figure out, but I'm lazy. We got a bunch of eggs. Oh boy. Alright, let's have a quick look here. I can see a few interesting levels here. Alright, let's start moving some of these Argents. Put the 230 here. I'm going to have to keep one for myself that I'm going to be using to probably do stuff with. Whilst I'm breeding the Argents, I'm not going to be moving them for anything else. So I might need one for myself to potentially carry stuff. Now do bear in mind that with the Argents, I did level them up. So Stella and Falco have been leveled up with points attributed into different stats. Falco is a damage Argent, and Stella is a weight Argent. I've thought about mutating these as well. I just haven't thought about the stats I'm going to go for. I'm probably going to follow the same routine of going for health and damage. And then obviously with the imprinting and stuff, that'll raise the other stats up. And I can then have two Argents once I've got all 40 mutations. One purely focused on damage, and another one with all its points into stamina and carry weight. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. But then I can also use the one that will be for the carry of weight and stuff to defend myself, because it'll have mutations in health and damage, so it should be tanky and dish out good enough damage, I think. And then obviously the one that's going to be a battle Argent will probably hit pretty hard. At least that's the way I like to think about it. To me, it makes sense. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to put points in stamina as well, so that's going to be a thing. But generally speaking, though, Argents tend to come out with good, decent stamina, unlike the Pteranodon. And maybe, seeing as things are not that bad, I might potentially look at building some mutations for dodos. I wonder what you could do with a super dodo. Yeah, that might be a thing. First things first, though, I want to get these two things started, so the Argents and Rexes on their way, and then I think as a side gig, that's something I might potentially play around with. I want to see what you can do with a really powerful dodo, or how powerful a dodo can become. Alright. We've got things up there which I don't know how they got up there. It's really annoying. Okay, I've got a couple of things here that don't know if I'm going to keep any of these. Obviously, we want the ones with the highest stats, and eventually I'll end up having to kill off loads of babies, even though they'll be fully grown. Which is sad, but true. This one, though, over here, has a mutation. Don't know what the mutation is in, but I know it's a mutation because it's got green on its head. So I did get a mutation in the end. It's just, I really don't like it when things happen like that. So basically my babies are up there. I don't know how to get them down. I don't understand why they're up there, because I can't interact with them. Not that I actually want to interact with them, because I'm not going to be imprinting on the babies at this moment in time, unless I intend to keep the baby for myself. But what I'm reading from mutations, I generally don't imprint on them, because I don't want them messing up the numbers and stats. It's just easier for me to follow that way. And so, yeah. That's really frustrating. Why is that a thing? If they don't fall through the ceiling, they go up to the next ceiling. Makes no sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm kind of done for the day. Everything's kind of plodding along, doing its own thing. I'm happy with me just wandering about, so I think I'm taking the Giga out Just kind of killing some stuff, just doing something a bit more entertaining than just sitting there watching paint. Granted, I'm not going very far from my base, so that's going to be a thing to keep in mind. But then I'm also harvesting some meat because I do need some meat. I got, you know, breeding babies does mean you go through a bunch of meat, especially seeing as all the creatures that I'm breeding are carnivores. And of course, you know, we want to pick up some stuff from here. And by here, of course, I mean this right here. Beaver dam. I'm going to have to be right quick. I want this, 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 and this. We chuck the rest of it out and run to my giga. Any beavers? Oh, beavers. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. And that's why we do it this way. Poor thing. I didn't want to kill it, but it goes aggressive, so not much I can do about that. I'm not going to let it hurt my giga. A Therizinosaurus, eh? 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 It's so nice having this giga, I am not gonna lie. The fact that it does 1000 plus damage per hit is cool. And so that is what the trap looks like. I will show it off in a guide. Currently it is in the testing phase, so nothing to report and show off. We got a dillo there. Let's just get rid of you. There you go. And a dimorph that just instantly melted. Beautiful, love it. Okay, I've got hide for days, but I'm not going to throw it away because I will be mixing it with oil to make gasoline, and that place looks nice. I'm happy with it. It took a bit of building, but it is done. I suppose the hard part was building the trap itself. The taming cage, the impregnation part of the cage isn't that bad. I think the one that took the longest, or the portion of it that took the longest, was setting out the floor, the size and shape of the floor. Once that was set, just basically fill it up with ceiling pieces where it's too high off the ground, and then add the doors, another layer of ceiling pieces, doors on top of that, and voila, that looks cool. I look forward to playing around with them. I'm happy. I think it is going to be successful, but I might potentially be talking too soon. I don't see why it wouldn't do it. So from the things that I've seen so far, the Rhino Nathia does want to impregnate your dino in the cage, but because the taming cage was too small, it almost was as if it didn't have enough space to do its little tail attack thing. So that's what's got me thinking that it's possible to do it. So obviously I want to test it out. I'm going to be testing it out on my own resources. If not, I don't know what next. Maybe expand that and see how big, how much space it needs. But I don't think it has a setting where if it's inside a building, it won't impregnate the baby. I don't think that is a thing. I have a feeling it's not, just based off of past experiences. Now, I'm not the most experienced with it, but it's just little cues that I've seen in the creature's animation that kind of indicate to me that it is possible. And this is the downside to Giga. Your stamina sucks really badly. I mean, really, really badly. So we just have to walk like this. And I'm kind of full of stuff, so yeah. But I'm going to be taking the meat off of this thing, putting it in the feeding trough, making sure all dinos have plenty of food. And yeah, I'm going to call it a day. I mean, I'm probably going to include this into the previous clips that I've recorded and make it into one episode. And if that is the case, most people won't know that some episodes are actually filmed across 2, possibly 3 days, as in actual real life days, and I kind of feel the need to kind of point that out to people. So I would say maybe 40% of my videos tend to be filmed in that way. They tend to be filmed across multiple real life days. because I think people don't sometimes know or forget how much time you need. Don't realize how much time I need to spend in this game to actually get a 30 to 40 minute episode. Sometimes things happen quick, sometimes they don't, and when they don't, yeah, it's, you know, it'll end up being a case of several days and my health is dropping down. I'm gonna have to consider my armor, I think, because I'm overheating. I might need to consider using a ghillie suit, because that is meant to keep you cooler. Yeah, it really annoys me when creatures start to sink into foundations. I don't really like it when that happens. So we got plenty of berries at the moment. And this trough should reach all of the dinos here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go and have a look at some stuff in here. Oh, no, actually, you know what? I feel like I need to put a ghillie suit on. I think I'll go and look for a ghillie suit. I've got some stuff to put away as well. So I'll do that. I think I might survive this, just barely. Do you know what? Let me just go this way. Get a sip of water. And let me see, where did I put stuff? Ammo, weapons. Do I have anything in my inventory to put here? I know I have a full ghillie suit, so I think I'll be using that. I'm just looking at my health. Cool. Armor. Let's grab these. These are all out of drops, by the way, so definitely worth farming them drops without a hint of a doubt. I think that'll make a difference to my life. Let's just try this on for a second. I've got a chest piece. That should do. Yeah, big difference. Right, cool. So I think ghillie suit is the way forward for me. And with that said, I'm going to end the episode here, folks. Thank you all so very much for choosing to spend your time with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please don't forget to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, until next time, stay safe, folks.